Hey everybody, Fluffy the Commie here, and when this is the second video I'm going to go ahead and make, this is about Monk this time, so that's good. This is obviously based off of Happy's video, as you can see with the title here, so I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description, and you guys can go ahead and check that out if you really want to. You really should though, in my opinion. It's a pretty good video. So go ahead and give my thoughts. Let's go.
Hey everyone, Mr. Happy.
Skipped you all that.
This footage was obtained from the
Great intro, Happy, but I'm sorry. Gotta keep going. I guess with this, these definitely got kind of changes, but we'll talk about that later. Not a big deal here. And so, over here with the remove skills, one punch is gone. That's great. Still peak gone. I guess that's great. Didn't really interact with the job in any way, and it just had a really weird cooldown, so that's awesome. We have Howling Fist here. Howling Fist, it's kind of going to be missed. I guess the reason I liked Howling Fist a lot is because it was a great for adding to your burst, because it was off the global and it was AoE, so it would help with AoE burst too, but they added some things that would help you with that. I guess the only thing which we'll get into later, is everything is kind of on the GCD now, so I don't know if Monk will be really bursty anymore, but we are going to be getting more Forbidden Chakras, which I'll also be talking about later. I guess if RNG is on our side, and there was kind of something I discovered with Brotherhood that was a really awesome interaction, so we'll get into that too. Internal release is gone, so the fact that they increased the rate on which you gain chakras when you crit is probably because of this. Internal release is gone. I thought internal release interacted with the job pretty well. I didn't really see an issue with it, but I guess SC didn't really like it. So hey, whatever, it's cool. But you will be getting more procs, and there's an interesting interaction that we'll see. Tackle mastery is gone. It's just okay. Hey, whatever. We kept the 2 charts tackles, basically, so you just have wind tackle all the time now, which in my opinion I would have rather kept that one anyway. Wind tackle, the second tackle you get was just really nice to have. It was awesome. Not only did it keep your cooldown rolling, but if you needed to do some fancy moving, it was there, so it just had this unique feel for it. But anyway, let's keep going. Skip around a little bit. Aha, so this is one of the first big changes. Dragon Kick. Dragon Kick doesn't give you anything. What I assumed it was going to do is it was just going to give you a 10% buff. But what Dragon Kick does now is it gives a buff to Boot Shine, so Boot Shine is 290 potency, and then it still deals critical damage. I don't know how to feel about this, because 100 potency is not 10% of your damage, no matter how you put it, even if it's critting all the time. So they did buff Fist of Fire, so Fist of Fire is 10% now instead of 5%, or I guess 6%, which is good. But I don't know if this is still making up for all of Dragon Kick, but we'll have to wait and see. Look at the numbers, and hey, GL4 is a thing, but then you won't have Fist of Fire. Anyway, so we'll keep an eye out for it. Let's keep moving. Skip ahead. Armored Destroyer. Whoops. Let's scooch back a little bit. Armored Destroyer got a buff. That's not 50 potency anymore, which is, it was garbage. You don't have to worry about the stupid silence anymore. Nobody's going to bother you for that in your 07S party, so that's great. It's 110 potency now, 80 without a form, which might happen, may not happen. I doubt it. So it's actually pretty good on 2 targets now, depending on what... Well, if you have Lead and Fist for your Boot Shine, it's not a gain. But if you don't, then this is a gain on 2 targets, so that's cool. Always good to think about. Moving along. So we talked about Tackle Mastery, so I won't go too much into that. Tackle Mastery, good. Right, so he's talking about Forbidden Chakra now having a 1 second recast time, which is very important, because what could happen and what might be happening now a lot more than it used to. You could get you could use Forbidden Chakra while you're, say, like in Brotherhood, and get all your stacks back immediately after that Forbidden Chakra, but your Forbidden Chakra would still be on cooldown, because Forbidden Chakra has a 5-second cooldown currently, which is the most annoying thing ever, because that's just so much potency or potential loss. So now it's on a 1 second cooldown. It's going to be so much better now. Who knows? You might actually end up getting put into that situation. So I think that's a great change. The same thing with Aura Blast. If you just happen to get a fuck ton of procs, you got Aura Blast. So you just spam that ridiculously good AoE over and over again. And hey, you're going to be doing a lot of damage. So that's awesome. Let's keep going.
Actually, a massive deal for meditation is generating tons of really no point in this.
So Riddle of Fire, Riddle of Earth. These don't change stances anymore. That's great. I think that's really important, especially for Riddle of Fire, because chances are you're going to be using your Riddle of Fire in GL4. So Fist of Wind, which means you won't be getting Fist of Fire. But yeah, because you want to get the extra GCDs that you're probably going to be getting from GL4 more so than you'll be getting from Fist of Fire, even though Fist of Fire is just 10% anyway. So, hey, you know, that's an interesting interaction. And this is not too much of a big deal. That's just how it's always been. You're gonna, if you want the 10% damage from your Fist of Earth now, well, yeah, you're gonna have to switch in the Fist of Earth. But none of it really matters anyway, no matter what you're in. So that's awesome.
The general flow is the same, but executing your 45 skill that does
So 4-Point Fury. This is a great new AoE skill. Really enjoy this, because the special interaction with this, which is what I was wondering if they were actually going to address, even if it was just the raptor form version of your AoE, was if there was actually going to be a Twin Snakes interaction. Because it's great and all if you put Twin Snakes up first and then your next combo is a 4-Point Fury, but what sucks is the fact that you might have to go back into your Twin Snakes combo again. But they actually addressed this and put a Twin Snakes extend on it. So whenever you use this, it extends Twin Sticks up to 15 seconds by 10 seconds, whatever the case may be. So that's important. I mean, there might be some single target interaction if for whatever reason you need to reapply. I can't see that happening. That sounds ridiculous. Anyway, you'd probably just use Twin Snakes if that was the case. I think Twin Snakes is way more potency than this. Well, maybe like 10 potency, I think. So that's not a big deal. Let's continue. Still a really good move. It's only 120 potency, but hey, that's a gain on 2 targets for anything. I don't think anything you have other than the Lead and Fist Boot Shine is more than 240 potency this would be giving you, plus the obviously buffs.
The Bluntner can just do this in large pulls. Fury for the Twin Snake. One thing I wanted was
So this is the Aoe Chakra Spender. This is really good. Like I said, 220 potency. You put this on 2 targets, that's immediately a gain over a Forbidden Chakra. You'd think this would be a lot less potency than Forbidden Chakra, but no, this is only 30 potency less. So this is really strong. You got 2 targets, you use this. Alright, this is 440 potency straight up without buffs. So that's a lot of damage. I'm glad that Monk has always been really good on 2 targets, and with a lot of these skills, they're just all good on 2 targets, if not more. So Monk will be good in a lot of fights like that.
And it is like Forbidden Chakra, it only has over the auto attack, so it's basically another option for things you can do when there are no targets to hit. And finally, the ability that's likely to
Wait, what
cancel
is
your auto attack, so it's basically
he's talking about the channel ability. This is the I guess it's Anatman. It's basically if you ever want to save Grease Lightning, it's there. Wow, it lasts 30 seconds. That's ridiculous. I guess it's pretty nice if you, let's say, you see you're about to run out of GL because you maybe took a lot more downtime from the whatever phase than you thought you would. This could just save it straight up, which is great, and you could just sit there for 30 fucking seconds if you wanted to. So that's good. I was expecting the recast time to be something like 30 seconds instead of 60, but hey, you know what I mean? Get creative, stop losing your GL, stop being a scrub, so that's good. Let's continue. Not the most interesting of skills. I don't know what else you would use that for, other than downtime. I hope it takes instantly too. That's very important. So this move right here. This move is a little controversial for me. I'm not really sure how I feel about this, because as you can see, it's 400 potency, hits like a fucking truck, and you don't even need a stance for it. You can use this whenever the fuck you want. It's just there. But the issue with that is, look at this recast time. It's 4.8, so basically a 5-second GCD. It is a 5-second because he has skill speed, he has buffs up, he has GL4 for Christ's sake, and this is this is a screenshot, so let's not get carried away, right? But this is basically a 5-second GCD, and the issue with that is it shares a GCD with all of your other moves. So when really is this useful? You know what I mean? It's 400 potency, sure. So it does a lot more, and probably gains a lot more than any, it gains a lot more from your buffs than any of your moves. So I would imagine that there is a gain to using this. Perhaps when you have a serious amount of buffs up, you would just end your buff phase with 6-sided star. Who knows? Maybe you spam this for 3 GCD straight. I doubt that, but I don't really support making Monk an even slower job with this. But hey, this is hard to kind of figure out a min-max for. It's not your typical move. You know what I'm saying? It has a lot to it. This allows you to weave more when you think about it. So it also, like I said earlier, just gains more from buffs. It's just, when would I use this? I don't know how to use this, especially if it's up all the time. I would have preferred, say, that what this move was, say, if it was on the normal GCD, right? But there is something in your rotation that you had to meet the prerequisite for in order to use this ability. Whether it's a chakra spender, so maybe you need 4 chakra to use it, and then you just kind of use it, but it's on the GCD anyway, and it just does a fuck ton of damage, and then you just have a normal GCD, making it less stupid to use. Because I could see a lot of monks just sitting in level 80, just spamming 6-sided star over and over again. So it's a little worrying, but I'm sure this move will come up being something really good. I mean, even in GL4, no matter what way you look at this is still going to end up being more than a 4-second GCD. So you're losing the GCD whenever you use this. So we're hey, we got a lot to think about with Monk. So let's continue. I believe Happy had some good ideas. This also refreshes GL. So in essence, if there was a phase where you wanted to end with max Grease Lightning, I can't really. You probably use the skill regardless if you were ending a phase, right? Or if you were about to go into downtime, you would use 6-sided star. But this does refresh GL, right? So what you could do is, if, say, the boss is coming back in 15 seconds, you could use 6-sided star, pull off the boss. Well, that doesn't really make sense anyway, other than for the damage. You would get the damage, so you don't have to worry about the GCD, but at the same time, it kind of sucks because you can refresh Grease Lightning anyway if you have a Natman, so that works out. But hey, it's still a neat little way to sneak some damage out, especially if the boss will be back in 15 seconds. But heck, man. Anyway, this stuff makes me work. What is Tornado Kick even for anymore? But hey, let's keep moving. It's
on the normal global cooldown, but when it comes to extending your global cooldown to over 4 seconds, this means that we're probably going to be using it back to back along with tons of off global cooldown abilities during our big Riddle of Fire and Brotherhood moments. Yep. Hopefully we'll see the active skills that monks are going to be using, as well as the new ones. We of course had some traits. A lot of the traits aren't very flashy. Mastery I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, so Deep Meditation 2. Glad he brought that up. I almost forgot. Deep Meditation 2, so it gives you 70% chance that your chakra will open upon critical damage. The reason why this is a big deal for me is because Forbidden Chakra gives you a 30% chance to open your chakra whenever you use a weapon skill, regardless of whether it crits or not, and obviously with other people in the party who are physical damage dealers. That's huge. Because that means if you're in Brotherhood and you crit, you have a 100% chance to open a chakra. So you're going to be getting a lot of chakras. That's awesome. I think this is cool. That's a great interaction. But not much else, not much else to say after that. I guess if you're in an AoE situation, you're going to be getting a fuck ton of procs, probably a lot, because you just have a lot more chances to crit at that point. So let's continue. I don't think there's much else to talk about when it comes to Monk. Obviously, Fist of Wind gives you an extra griddle of lightning, an extra grease lightning. No big deal there.
You are under 3 damage per Fist of Wind and having, so it seems the best for you actually will only ever have 1 GCD that's missing the 10% bonus at that point. Yeah. So there may be situations where you want to be in much simpler changes.
I guess basically what he's talking about is Fist of Fire and Fist of Wind have a weird interaction there, but and if you ever want to go into Riddle of Wind, what you're probably gonna end up doing is staying in Fist of Fire first to build stacks, and then right as you are able to enter GL4, so like let's say you've built up 3 stacks and you've used Oppo and Raptor stance, so you're now in Corwell stance, right? You would immediately enter Fist of Wind. You're in GL4. You don't have to worry about that damage loss. That's about all I can think of, really. I feel like you're probably always going to be in Fist of Wind now, for the most part, where you're only using Fist of Fire to build up, buffs, basically. I can't see any other reason you would use Fist of Fire. It's in every way inferior to Fist of Wind. But yeah, that's that. I don't think there's much else.
Basically will let you start the fight again at 3 without needing to use perfect balance. So
wait, what did he say?
You wouldn't just be maintaining Grease Lightning. If you Tornado Kick right before an enemy jumps, a Knotman while the enemy is jumping and you don't have a target, basically will let you start the fight again at 3 without needing to use perfect balance. So it opens up all sorts of opportunities.
So a Knotman builds stacks, huh? That's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't notice that at all. A Knotman builds stacks. So, hey, that's really good then. That's really good then. Makes me think then, what the hell is perfect balance for? I guess perfect balance will be a little bit more damage oriented then. Huh. That's interesting. Hey, so if you can actually manage to stay in a Knotman long enough with mechanics happening to build up GL3, you could potentially just start a fight with GL3 again, which I think is great. I'm probably going to be using perfect balance for damage or just situations in which you can't use an admin or whatever, AoE or whatever. So yeah, I think that's really just Monk. I guess if I were to give my opinion on Monk, it seems a little bit lackluster. I guess so. I wanted to say it like this: if you play Tornado Kick rotation for Monk, you're probably like, well, one of 2 things. You're like, finally, that cancer is gone. I hated TK rotation; it was awful. Or you're like, man, I really love TK rotation. Monk seems a lot more simple compared to what TK rotation was. I really love TK rotation, so this kind of seems a little bit meh to me. And if you didn't do TK rotation at all, you're probably just like, yeah, this is just quality of life, So it depends on the perspective and how you played Monk before. You're probably just thinking a lot of different things. I don't think Monk is going to be a weak job at all. I actually think it's going to be pretty strong. There's a lot going on here in terms of big damage. And its synergy with Dancer is ridiculous. Dancer with that 30% crit buff, and I believe there's I think there's a direct hit buff in there somewhere too. That's going to be crazy, especially when you're in Brotherhood. I don't even think you need to be in Brotherhood, honestly. But if you were in Brotherhood, you're going to be getting some serious chakra procs getting out of that. So that is good. I'm looking forward to that interaction. But otherwise, I'm probably going to go for Ninja before I go for Monk. And then we'll look at the other melees. I think Ninja is looking like the best melee right now. But anyway, that's it for the video. Go ahead and leave a like if you liked the video. Dislike the video if you disliked it. That's okay. I'm not the best. I ramble on a little bit. But I hope maybe even learn something from this video, if anything. Go ahead and leave comments down at the bottom. I really want to talk to you guys about Monk and the other melees because, I don't know, something here just doesn't feel... Some things just feel a little different beyond my comprehension. I can't think of... Six-Sided Store is really confusing me, basically, is what I'm saying. It's really confusing me. Maybe you guys can come up with something. But that's it. That's going to be it for the video. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more content, and thanks for watching.